Welcome to Beyond the Mom Life, the podcast where motherhood and the business world collide, with your host, Heather Ioerger.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. Today, we are joined by a very special guest. Her name is Christiane Schroeter, and she is a big wealth of information for us, and I'm so excited to have her on today. Welcome, Christiane.
Well, thanks so much for having me here, Heather. I'm really excited to share some secrets and insights, and definitely looking forward to making this an amazing conversation worth your while.
Yeah, I'm really excited to have you on today because I really feel like you are going to be of value to all those moms out there listening to us when they hear a little bit about your story. So let's just start at the beginning. So you're a mom, as the rest of us are as well. How old are your kids?
So my children are teenagers now, 14 and 16 years old.
Fantastic. And when did you start your business?
I started my business, I was always thinking about doing a side hustle. And I would say maybe when they grew out of that diaper stage, so from toddlers to becoming more independent. At that point, I felt that was the call for me to also become more independent.
Yeah, I love that. So you were able to follow your passion. And was that something that was getting out of your comfort zone to be able to do that? Or was that something that came easy to you?
That's a great question. I will never forget the moment when it happened. My children were in a swim class, and that's really the perfect moment when you're thinking, you're watching them, they're learning this life important skill. And all of a sudden, I sat on the side in one of those lounge chairs at the pool. I was looking at my phone. All of a sudden, it just hit me. I looked up and I looked at the other parents and I was like, what in the world am I doing here? I could be doing something different, right? I could be going for a walk. I could talk to a friend right now and meet that person for coffee. I could have some serious me time. Or I could do something that actually, as you said, kind of elevates my own passion. And so I started whenever they had those classes, whether it was gymnastics or swim or something else, I started working out at the same time. I basically would pop my headset in and I would go for walks and set myself a timer and then pick them up whenever their class and instruction was done. And that really then led me to become a fitness instructor, because I knew that those scheduled times of whether it was swim class or gymnastics or something else, right now we're just anchoring around my children. But I thought that's really not what I want to do. I actually really want to schedule a time when I'm going out, and then maybe my husband can watch my children instead of me always squeezing in that time while they are at an event. And so I became a certified group fitness instructor. That was my first business.
Awesome. Awesome. So that was actually something really good for you, not only mentally, but physically, that you could do and obviously be there for your kids at the same time. Do you feel like that job taught your kids the importance of taking care of themselves and exercising and all of those important lessons?
And much more than that, even, because exercise is great for your body. And of course, it's amazing that you're taking care of yourself. But there's even the fact in there, and I think that clients or members of recreation centers and gyms frequently underestimate that as a fitness instructor, we don't always like sit in the car and like, I'm so pumped to teach in a little while. We are not. It's not that every time when I put on my clothing, I actually really, really want to work out. So there is also this accountability in there that when you have a job, you're going to show up and you're going to do your best thing in teaching a really amazing kick-ass class for those people to feel empowered and better for the rest of the day. Because it's not about me. The class is about honoring that people chose to spend time with me in the recreation center. So I need to make it worthwhile their time that they come. So as inspiring as it might sound, like, oh, I'm taking care of my body and all this, that's definitely a very important thing. For my children, though, I put all the dates in the calendar and I share those calendar entries with them. Mom is teaching body pump. Mom is teaching spin. She's teaching bar, but Pilates. I'm putting all this in there, and then they know Yeah, she's going to be actually leaving the house and she's going to be teaching those classes. And then frequently when we go downtown to different coffee shops or whatever, I see the students that were in my class and like, oh, I just took your abs class and I liked it. And so I think to them that makes it more real that I am doing something completely different than being a full-time professor. I'm also connecting with people on a level that increases their happiness and it boosts
Yeah.
their resilience, because I think exercise really has a lot of this brain component in there. So that's what I really love about my one side hustle. I have multiple, but just to give you a
Yeah.
teaser, that's
Yeah, that's awesome. And that is so true because you get that big sort of rush when you're done exercising. It just makes you feel so good. So you're able to help people feel better. And that has to be a good rush for you as well. So let's talk a little bit about how your business grew from there. So obviously that's where you started. That's the first business that you kicked off. So how did it grow? What has it grown into? Tell us a little bit about how those things happened.
So then in 2013, I actually started realizing that this time before and after the workout classes became a little bit more meaningful in terms of really coaching clients. They would ask, oh, so what type of protein do you eat? How do you stretch afterwards? And also random questions like, what do you do? How do you take care of your hair after you work out? Or how many times do you even wash your hair? And I realized I would love to help all of them, but that's just not really the right capacity being a fitness instructor there. So I started my business, Hello Happiness, as a holistic wellness program that helps, and especially as you mentioned, busy moms, women on the go, to facilitate all of these questions, to say hello, happy, and nest, being comfortable with who you are and taking care of yourself while you are succeeding in your business.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what has it really grown into then today? What are you seeing from it? Tell us how it is to affect all those women who have come into your life and that you've really been able to help.
So I have a standalone wellness program that's called Journey to Wellness, has helped hundreds of women all over the world go through, and in 5-minute videos that they watch from the comfort of their cell phone or their desktop computers, there are also handouts with it. They learn from the inside out how to take care of the body. So there are quick workouts, of course, there are those. There are 5-minute workouts, the abs, the glutes, and the legs. I'm smiling because I call it butts and guts. So I'm like,
I think that's perfect. I think that's perfect.
and then there are recipes in there that make it quick and easy for you and also inspire you. It's not like I'm giving you, like I said, necessarily a meal plan to restrict your calories, but rather I give you ideas to save time. The
Yeah.
ultimate goal is to manage your day because you're busy already. And then we also have a community. And that's really what I want to emphasize. So my business now has grown into, I have a mastermind collective where we meet on a monthly basis and we exchange, how do all these things work? How does that wellness program work out for you? What did you accomplish this week? Did you try some new recipes? Did you try some new self-care techniques? Did you read a new book? So there is much more, and you can see of this holistic component in there that really elevates what the business woman needs, because we tend to put ourselves on the back burner, and that's the last thing that you need to succeed in your business.
That's so true. So true, especially when you're a business owner and business owning mom, right? So we're trying to take care of our kids. We're trying to do a lot for our kids. We're running our business, which takes a lot of our time as well. And we tend to put ourselves on the back burner. So trying to remember that we need to take care of ourselves too is very important. And so with that being said, if any of our listeners are out there and maybe they've not started a business yet and that they are looking for something to do to start a business, becoming a fitness instructor, helping women with fitness, that's going to help them as well take care of themselves. So what are some good tips or steps that you could give to that mom who's looking for something to do with her passion of taking care of herself? Where should she begin?
That's a really great question. And I also want to back up for a second because I mentioned earlier my full-time job in the fitness is my side hustle. I am working as a full-time professor. So my children basically see there are these little Venn diagrams, if you want to see these little bubbles and how things intersect in my life. So the question of how to start actually starts with that, because I teach innovation entrepreneurship at the university. So I am a professor that really guides my students through what is your unique selling proposition? What do you have that you're passionate about in pursuing for a few years? Because it can't just be like a little blimp on the horizon and you think that's cool. The passion needs to be there when you're tired, when you get lots of no's, when you may be feeling there are lots of other people doing this already, this imposter syndrome. And of course, when maybe things just don't feel good, maybe you're sick. So you need to be passionate enough. So I guide my clients through this unique selling proposition that I also use in my classroom at the university. And the results are absolutely mind-blowing, because a lot of people are not really tapping into what I call my superpower. They are all rich in superpowers, but they're just not really letting them shine and come out. And so my mastermind is really something that will peel the layers back and figure out who you're really meant to be and what your passion really is and get you started in your business.
Fantastic. I love that. Really looking into your own unique proposition, right? Your own unique spin on what you're doing. Something that we really talk about a lot when it comes to marketing is making sure that we hone in on the niche of our clients. And I think part of that is your own unique value proposition. And so, what are some steps that somebody can do to try to figure out what that is for them?
That's a great question. So the unique selling proposition at the end of the day, and even if you are thinking, oh, I'm an introvert, how can I get started? Really starts with your passion. So you have to first figure out, what is it that I'm really excited about? And I always say, what is it that people would call you and ask you for help? Because frequently you are an expert in some area that you might not even be aware about. So you could even start as simple as like texting some people and say, what would you ask me for help with? And that's something that is going a really far away, because you might already help others, but you're not getting paid for it. So I'm trying to help those female entrepreneurs out there. You can actually make this your business and help more clients. So there's also the entrepreneurial spirit always. You help others, and by helping others, you help yourself. And by helping yourself is you're actually making money with it, right? So
Yeah.
the first step is you have to tap into, what are you passionate about? What do you feel people ask you for help with?
Yeah, that's a really good start. So really trying to figure out where that passion lies. So something
Mhm.
that you can talk all day about and not get bored. Something that, like, as you said,
Right.
right, that you, on a bad day, you still are able to talk about it, even when you're getting the no's, because you will get the no's. If you don't get the no's, you're not going to get the yeses. So being able to really talk to people about that and make them understand how passionate you are about that and that you can help them to create that side hustle. So I love that. Thank you for sharing those tips with us. Now, one thing we like to talk about here on Beyond the Mom Life podcast is we like to talk about your kids, obviously. So, knowing your business, what you have been doing in your business, how has this inspired your children at the teenage age they are now? Are they looking to do something in the future, kind of like mom, or are they just kind of past it and no, don't want to do anything with that? What are your kids getting from this?
Yeah. So thinking a little bit about, so I'm a full-time professor. I do the fitness instruction. I used to do it via Zoom. Now I'm doing it mostly in person. I have this standalone wellness program. I have my mastermind. So I have all these little areas. And what's really the intersection there? Oh, now I have a podcast that's very successful. It's ranked top 1.5% globally. So what my children really see is, mom can do it all. She has to think of, what can she let go? So my children at an early age had to realize that, no, I cannot be the president of the PTA. No, I can't go to every single game. I will trade with my husband and he has to take that over. We cannot be going to all of these different meetings or fundraisers, etc., because that's just not something that helps. I can spend money to Venmo, but I might not be physically to go myself. And that's just something you have to become really good in saying no to things, because you have to let go of some things if you want to go after your passion. And that's what I talked about with the unique selling proposition. So a lot of the clients that I see in my mastermind, they think we're always adding things on, but you actually have to take something off too. That's just really, really important. You need to say yes to yourself and learn how to say no to something else. Otherwise, your plate is going to overfill and your passion will never go anywhere. So my children got so inspired by seeing this very entrepreneurial thinking, this what can I add, that actually is something I'm going to be looking at my bucket list that I always wanted to do. They started their own business last year. They started selling 3 different things, and they all start with a C. So it's a kind of fun little business that they started making candles from scratch, created cards, and ceramics. So they all handmade products that they sold at an entrepreneurial fair and made a ton of money with it. I think it actually was surprising to them how much money they made, because they thought, oh, no, nobody's going to look at this. But people so appreciated the heartfelt story behind it. And that's also what I coach my clients. People don't buy products, they buy stories. So I had my children sit down and write little cards about who they are and what these products went through to get created, the love that's behind it. So the logo is a little heart. Made with Love is the name of the company. Because we don't want to just support some like random business. We don't know what the children will do with the money. There needs to be the beginning, the middle, and the end. It needs to be really nice and tidy. And at that point, I'm feeling I'm actually buying a product that gives me this purpose, right? The passion and the purpose. And they're doing exceptionally great with their business. I actually have people on a regular basis send me pictures of the candles and say, this is our favorite candle. Or like, get more cards, Mother's Day is coming up. So I am always encouraging people that don't just think of like, oh, I need all this technology. I need a website. I need to create a logo and all this. That's just like little pebbles in the road. What you really need is you need a story, and you need to share your story authentically. And then you are doing business building clients. You are really going to see there's a complete shift in how people will look at your products.
I love that. I love that. So you don't need it all. You just need somewhere to start. You need to be passionate about something and go get it. That's really what it sounds like the lesson was here. That's fantastic. And you are sharing that with your children, which is a beautiful thing, because your children can know that they are capable and confident in doing whatever their heart desires to do. So I love that. I think someday the world is going to be different. These are not things that they needed to go to college necessarily for. Not that I don't love college or think that it's important. I do. But at the same time, there's so many things out there that our kids can go for to get when they just use their passion and move forward with it. So I love that. I think that's a very good lesson. So thank you so much for sharing all of this with us today. So if our audience is interested in getting with you, learning more about what you can do for them, how should we connect them to you?
So today I'm sharing a fantastic guide with you that is called a Resilience Booster. So it's a weekly planner that you can use to tap into your own passion, to boost your resilience on those days when maybe it seems like a struggle to keep going. And also there are some cool self-care ideas in there, some neat little checklists that might allow you for 5 minutes here or there to add a little bit of me time into your super busy day. So I'm sharing that freebie with you. And then also I invite you to check out my mastermind collective on my website, hellohappynest.com. And of course, tune into my podcast, Happy Healthy Hustle, because we have some amazing guests on there. And it's actually the perfect length of time for your commute to or from work to school or wherever you're going to listen to it in a car.
Fantastic. And we will link all that in our show notes as well. So again, thank you so much to Christiane Schroeter for being with us today. And until next time, keep dreaming, keep striving, and let's soar beyond the mom life together.
Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Beyond the Mom Life with Heather Ioerger. If you enjoyed the show, please be sure to rate, subscribe, and leave a review wherever you listen to your podcasts. That helps others find the show, and we greatly appreciate it. Once again, thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next episode.